Well, your voice, your vote. California could become the latest state to legalize sports betting, but two different proposals on this year's ballot want to do it in two totally different ways. ABC 10 News anchor Jared Aarons takes an in-depth look at the difference between Prop 26 and Prop 27.
The commercials have been constant and confusing.
Now Prop 27 would
Two
turn
proposals advertising themselves as ways to fund homeless services, schools, or increase tribal sovereignty. But the actual language of both proposals show they're really about legalized sports betting. And for Prop 26 and 27, location is everything. Prop 26, officially called the California Sports Wagering Regulation and Unlawful Gambling Enforcement Act, would allow sports betting only at casinos on tribal land and some horse racing tracks. It also legalizes games like craps and roulette. Prop 27, called the California Solutions to Homelessness and Mental Health Support Act, would allow online sports gambling from any phone, computer, tablet, or connected device, but only if you're within state lines and not on tribal land. The other major difference, where the money goes. Prop 26 sends most of the sports gambling profit, 90%, to the tribes that own the casinos. The state gets the other 10%, or 10 cents out of every dollar, as a tax. From that, it's split. 70% of it goes to the general fund, 15% to fund gambling addiction programs, and 15% for enforcement and regulation of the industry. Under Prop 27, 90% of all the money bet goes to the companies or tribes that run the online gaming platforms, so that's companies like FanDuel, DraftKings, or BetMGM. The other 10% goes to the state and put in a special California Online Sports Betting Trust Fund. From that 10%, 85% goes into the California Solutions to Homelessness and Mental Health Support account for cities and counties to use on housing, homeless programs, and mental health programs. The remaining 15% goes to tribes across California that don't have gaming.
What we're in the middle of now is the most expensive direct democracy campaign in world history.
According to filings with the Secretary of State, the groups for or against both propositions have already spent nearly $574 million to sway voters. UC San Diego political science professor Thad Kauser says Californians need to follow the money.
It's probably not perfect truth in advertisement, but we've got a lot of resources and a lot of voters seem to be figuring out exactly what's behind these initiatives.
According to state election records, a handful of individual tribes, Pechanga, San Manuel, Agua Caliente, and Granton Rancheria, have been the biggest donors both for Prop 26 and against Prop 27. Gaming companies like FanDuel, DraftKings, and BetMGM have put up the most money for Prop 27, while a handful of individual private casinos have donated the most to beat Prop 26. So what happens if both props pass? It kind of depends on who you ask. Traditionally, if two competing propositions pass, the one with more votes takes precedent. But language in Prop 27 says that both can go into effect. That would benefit them because it's frankly easier to place a bet on your phone than to have to drive to a casino. Prop 26 doesn't really say anything about that scenario, but election experts tell me that the backers of Prop 26 would likely sue if that happens to make sure the only sports betting in the state happens on tribal lands. Meanwhile, there's no way to predict exactly how much California would make from sports gambling. But looking at other states can offer a clue. The Supreme Court legalized sports betting in 2018, and now 30 states plus Washington, D.C. allow it in some form. Over the last 4 years, New York has brought in almost $400 million. Pennsylvania, $295 million. New Jersey, $256 million. Illinois, $166 million. If either Prop 26 or 27 pass, it's a safe bet that California, with the largest population in the U.S., could be the biggest winner in the sports gambling game. Jared Aarons, ABC 10 News.
And both propositions need 50% plus one of the vote to pass, and both propositions have some work to do to get there. A recent ABC 10 News Union Tribune poll found that just 43% of registered voters say they plan to vote yes on Prop 26. 32% said they will vote no. 25% said they are not certain how they will vote. In that same poll, 43% of the people said they would vote no on Prop 27. 37% said they would vote yes, and 20% said they're not certain what they will vote for Prop 27.